How we getting on, folks? Luke here from LAGFX. We are back today with a new video. In today's video, we're actually going to be doing a full top-down analysis on the US dollar index. This has been requested by Houston, one of the guys in the VIP chat. So I thought, why not create a video around this pair, give you a full rundown on my thoughts and my projections for the coming weeks and months, and share it with you guys. So if you do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. This is actually going to be posted in the VIP chat as well, but I am also going to upload it onto YouTube. With all that being said, let's jump straight into today's top-down analysis. So, I mean, you can see here, looking at some old analysis actually. We go to the weekly. I've just been checking this out. Was it on the monthly? On the monthly here, I marked out this last buy to sell region. We can see that price has actually reacted very well to this. So this must have been some real old analysis done back in March time. I'll have to try and find a screenshot somewhere of this analysis before, and then obviously now you can see the after and how it's played out. So anyone who got involved in short positions from this area would have profited very nicely. But what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this and we're going to start over. Now, when we complete a full top-down analysis, we always go to the highest of time frames and we have a real look at how the market is performing and has performed over the course of the last 60, 70 years. Now you can see here that we had a very large move to the upside in 85, and since price has actually been trading us in a bearish way. Now my thoughts for this: yes, we are seeing equal lows. This area here would be a significant area of liquidity. We saw that price has traded beneath this. What is this, a liquidity sweep? Is this a grab before a new push to the upside? Well, we need to think about the US dollar index. We need to think about the US as a country, an economy, and the money that's coming in and out. With it being one of the strongest currencies and countries on the planet, I do believe that this was our area of liquidity. We've had a grab, a manipulation to the downside, and we are now going to see a push up. That is my thoughts longer term. Whether it continues to break this previous high is to be decided essentially, but I do believe that price is going to continue in a bullish way to the upside. Whether it comes to clear some of these hidden order blocks that are here on the 3-month time frame, this one here, and this one here, before price then goes on to move lower. Again, that all depends essentially. So we may see that price trades up and into these areas. Supply is introduced, demand is offloaded from all of these areas here where people are buying in, pushing price up. The demand is removed from the market, supply is introduced, and what that causes is an S&D flip. So this may be a possibility in the distant future. So definitely bullishness, I think, is going to be projected and put into the market. However, is that going to come to an end once we see price approach these areas of supply? Again, that's to be decided. So that's my longer term bias. Now, moving forward, looking at the current structure, current structural points in the market, I would say this is the last protected low within this, what would be seen as bearish structure. If we just mark out these swing points quickly, you can see that we have a high set followed by a low, lower high, lower low. So in order for me to look for this market to go bullish longer term, we would want to see a break in this protected high. So this is currently still a bearish market in the eyes of this structure. Price just may be correcting itself. So what we need to do is we need to look for areas within the last impulsive wave, which is this one here, areas of supply that price may react from. I can see a hidden order block here, one here, one here. Price has cleared this one already because price has traded above this. We also have this one here, which I think price has actually reacted to. If we just pull this across, perfect. So you can see here that price has traded into this area of supply. We've seen some good rejection to the downside. So now that we've had a penetration of a valid area of supply, what we need to do now is we need to see if there was enough supply in this area to give us a flip to the downside. So again, we would look at these structural points being bullish structure. This is more fractal to the overall structure here. And we would look at the last protected low, and we'd want to see a break in that. Why? Because that would tell us that there was enough supply in this area here to give us a flip to the downside. So we've not been delivered with an extreme higher time frame structural low. So with that being said, price may not come to trade beneath this point, but it may come to trade as low as this, within this, what could be a correction or the start of a new bearish impulsive wave to the downside. So with that being said, we need to see, well, okay, has price broken structure fractally to offer us some bearish opportunities? Yes, it has. We have a break in a structural point here. So this would be a fractal break of structure. And this is something that we could now use as confluence to potentially trade this market lower. Again, I would be setting my take profit targets above this structural low here. Why? Because price may trade as low as this point, as I say, but it may not trade beneath it if there's not enough volume that would be introduced from this here. So now we need to look at this impulsive wave. This impulsive wave for areas of supply, areas of interest that price may come to trade up and into to deem us a valid entry. Now what we can also do is go down to the lower time frames and we can look at more fractal areas in the market. Again, giving us the opportunity to take the market short. Now when we zoom in here and we look at this structure, you can see how we have an area here of supply or a hidden order block. A last buy to sell region. Price has traded in to clear this. We've seen bearishness continue. This has been left unmitigated. We could actually lower this now to say this point. This whole area would be an area of interest for me. And what we've seen is a continuation in bearish structure. Price has pulled up. So where could we look to go short from? So other than the fact that price could come to clear this area here before trading us lower longer term, there are other areas within this structure. So obviously everything beyond this point coming down has been mitigated. And then we look from this high, everything beyond this point has been mitigated. Everything beyond this point has been mitigated. So then we would look at this structure here. Well, there is an area of interest that stands out for me here. This is a clear order block. And this is an area of supply. Price may come to trade up and into. And I do believe that we may see some kind of rejection from here, giving us the opportunity to get involved in some short positions. Now, price is obviously trading up at the moment. I do believe price will pull back to set a higher low before setting a higher high. And then we may see this continue before trading us up and into this point, before we see a move to the downside. Now, when we look at this structure, zooming out, you can see that we are following the laws of this current structure here. We'd want to see price trade all the way down, maybe not breaking this point as it's seen as a protected low. So what we'd do is we'd go back to the weekly and we'd say, okay, well, are there any areas within this area here that may be left unmitigated? There's a hidden order block, an area of demand that price could trade down and into. So once price continues trading this bearish way, we may see price trade down and into this point before we then see price trade up. Now what you notice is the fractal structure that we put in play here, followed by the structure we put in play here, followed by the structure here. It all correlates with one another, okay? Now, price trading into this area may cause price to pull back, only setting a higher low before going on to continue in a bullish way. So you can see as we zoom out, our analysis all correlates with one another. Now, if we just move this up and into one of the areas of supply, and then we zoom out again and we say, okay, so price may trade lower now to set a lower low. As I said, you can see that all of the analysis we have performed and completed correlates with one another. So we want to see some temporary bullishness to trade into this fractal area of supply before trading us lower into this area of demand. That will then push price up into this area of supply, which will cause price to pull back fractally, setting a higher low before continuing its bullishness, trading all the way up and into the supply zone, which then may cause price to go on to set a new lower low, within the extreme higher time frame structure. Now, when we put all of this together, what we are delivered with is clear bearishness, okay? Now, you may be wondering, well, we have a high set, low, lower high, lower low, but then we have a higher high followed by another lower low. Well, what this would be here is actually part of the correction. So the actual structure would be this. We would have a high set followed by a low, followed by a lower high, followed by a lower low. And this would be our bearish structure. This here is just part of the impulsive wave and the corrective wave that is being printed into this market. And you can see that the analysis right the way down from the hour all the way back up to the monthly and 3 monthly correlates with each other, and we have created a story throughout. So for my longer term traders, we may see price trade us in a bullish way up and into the supply zone before trading us lower. So we could look to buy into this market with a longer term target. You'd want to be setting your stop loss below these structural points here, and you'll take profit obviously at these two areas before trading us lower. But for those intraday traders, those swing traders, the shorter term traders, we could be looking to buy in before we go short, before we go long. Okay, I mean, you can see here we have an engulfing candle here on the weekly time frame. We completely engulfed these areas, these bears here in the market, and I feel we are going to have a continuation in this. Now, price, as I said earlier, price may pull back. This would be a good area for price to pull back into to set a higher low before continuing to trade us up and into this area of supply. So if you aren't involved in buy positions but you want to get involved, maybe wait for price to pull back slightly to give you a better opportunity to get involved in this market in some buy trades. But ultimately, that is my analysis for the DXY or the US dollar index. I hope that makes sense. I know it's going to be quite confusing for those beginners because we are looking at structure within structure. We are looking at multiple time frames, and we've completed a full top-down analysis, so I know that it can go over the head of some people. But try and watch it a few times. Try and understand that we always start at the highest of time frames and work our way down to help create a story. And it's very important that the analysis we are performing correlates and connects with one another. We don't want any missing pieces within our story. So the fact that every piece or every move that I have predicted and have analyzed to hopefully come true, it all matches with one another and all adds up. And we are following the structural points and laws on every single time frame. For those who are wanting to trade this market this week, this month, again, buy opportunities. For those who are wanting to get involved in this market in a few months' time, again, buy opportunities. Longer term, I am looking to go short, but from these areas here. So until price reaches these points, we aren't going to see a longer term or higher time frame bearish structure being printed in. And that means that the prevailing trend, the current prevailing trend, is a bullish one. And as they always say, the trend is your friend and we should always trade with the trend. So look for those buy opportunities. There's an area of demand down here. There is an area of demand that price may pull back down into here. Look to get involved in those buy opportunities. Once price trades down from this supply zone, it will trade into an area of demand that will have been created from this wave here. Look for an area to get involved in. I hope this video helps. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions with regards to my analysis or my strategy, the things that I'm looking at, the things that I've gone over, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have learned a thing or two, don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up. All the support you guys provide is very much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.